Okay, Chianti 2018. This is Salcedo. Salcedo is a winery, obviously in Chianti, and this wine is called Bischero, which actually is Tuscan dialect for dummy. So one of the sayings in Tuscan is "Per I bischeri non c'è paradiso." It means for the dummies, there's no paradise. So yeah, very fitting. So if you don't do your homework, if you're not paying attention, if you're not putting in the effort, then you will not reach your paradise.
My name is Wade Kinley. I'm with WestCoastFood. I'm the author of Diary of an Open, featuring Fiorino, where we are right now. And I'm here with three owner-operators. We have Giovanni Mascagni, Mario Ruiz, and Mitchel. Awesome. All right, welcome guys to your own space.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Gio, we got your story in the previous article, but how did you find these guys?
Oh yeah, that's an interesting story actually. So right before the pandemic started, I was basically living in a basement suite with my dog, and I was looking to find some roommates and find a bigger place to stay for my dog Whiskey. And we basically I was looking around in Vancouver, and I found this beautiful townhouse. So I rented out the whole house and I furnished it, and then I put up an ad, and the first two people to answer to the ad were actually Mario and Mitch. Mario was the first one, and I met him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm in the hospitality industry," and immediately clicked. And then Mario also has a dog, Nina. Yes. So Nina and Whiskey, my dog, clicked right away. They were friends, and then we take them out for walks every morning in Pacific Spirit Park. It's a lot of fun. And then the second person who answered the ad was actually Mitch, and he came in. He had very long hair, and he came in with this lady who was a little bit older, and I was like, I thought that was so cute because he came in with his mom to kind of check out the space. I just saw myself in him so much, because I just imagined that my mom would have done. Yeah, actually has done the same exact thing. So I didn't need to see any more candidates after that.
So the first two guys that showed up, little did you know.
Yeah.
Here we sit.
Yeah.
Did you think of these guys right away when you had the idea?
Well, I've been working on this idea for almost 5 years now, probably 6 actually. I always had this idea on the back burner. I was like, one day I'm going to own my own restaurant. And then when the pandemic hit, it started brewing a little bit more. And then I remember me and Mitch had quite a night, and I just opened up to him, and he was like, "Well, why don't we do it?" And I was like, "Well, if nobody just made it that simple for me, it was just like, well, what's stopping you, basically?"
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just like living with Gio, going down to the restaurant he was working at, just seeing his kind of passion. I'd never really had any friends that were kind of that high up in the restaurant world, and just seeing somebody who's there taking care of business, who's got kind of this drive and fire in their belly. And I think it just kind of motivated to me. My background's in business and in commerce, and I just seen somebody like that, seeing like, why are you working for somebody else when you can totally be running your own place, and you've got this idea mapped out of how you want to do it. And all you really got to do to launch a business, in my opinion, is just get it on paper and communicate it to people. And that's kind of the simplest way to get it off the ground. And honestly, it seemed to work out all right. We're about a year and a half almost after he first gave the idea to me, and we're kind of on the way coming to life. So it's perfect.
And Mario, you're obviously from culinary background.
Yes.
What's your history in the kitchen?
My history in the kitchen comes back from El Salvador, where I grew up and I was brought up. I would see my grandmother cook, and for family meals or for Christmas dinners, she would do the turkey and different typical Salvadorian dishes that we do there for Christmas. And I started getting closer to her and practicing helping in the kitchen or helping around and so on. And then one thing had led to another. And then professionally, I would say 20 years old. Mm-hmm. I've been cooking professionally, and I've worked in El Salvador, and as most of my 5 years that I've worked in Canada, and then 2 years I've worked in El Salvador.
Gio had this dream of owning a restaurant. Mario, is it safe to say, coming up through the kitchen, it was a dream of yours, and either in the back of your head or in the front?
Yeah, always. Yeah, as a chef, you always want to have a little bit of yourself, in the sense of what you learn through the industry and through different culinary cultures. You want to have a little bit of yourself, and that would be a restaurant of what you can represent yourself towards the community that you're cooking for.
Mm-hmm. And Mitchell, how about you?
Never ever thought I would own a restaurant, honestly. Maybe some way down the road, but as like kind of my first business venture, I probably never would have thought I would. And honestly, it's been super awesome, super fun. For me, it's just a matter of like creating the brand and being involved in that side of things, and just seeing how all the intricate parts are of the business. I think we've all learned that it's a lot more that goes into a restaurant than we ever thought would be, but it's part of the fun. It's part of what I think we're all really enjoying so far. It's just getting open and just getting up, figuring it out.
So how fortuitous is that the first two guys that show up at your door, one is a chef and the other has a degree in business. But it begs the question, what's it like working together all day bringing this up, and then living together as well under the same roof?
That's where the idea was birthed from, is us all being in the same place during a time where there's not much else to do but discuss ideas. So I think that's a huge benefit. Obviously, you have your stresses being in each other's faces all the time, and hard to get away from each other. And sure, maybe it's the only thing we talk about for 24 hours straight. But at the same time, it's gonna be kind of our baby and our future. So it's super great.
It's a dream, the dream that Gio's had for a while, and we can make it happen all together. We are not only business partners, but we're friends. That's a dynamic. That's how we've done it, and it's been the best.
It's worked so far.
Did any of you grow up with a brother? With brothers?
I got 2 brothers.
You got 2 brothers?
I have a twin brother.
You have a twin brother?
Yes.
I have 2 amazing sisters.
They make you say that?
Yeah. Yeah, amazing sisters. Yeah.
Has it been similar?
Yeah, I think
Kind
it's
of like a brother relationship?
Yeah, oh, for sure. I think like I'm the youngest of the bunch here, so I look up to these guys. They've probably got a lot more of life experience. I don't know if they've got more smarts and brains than me. Life experience pays off for sure. No, I think it's amazing for me to be from Saskatchewan and come out to Vancouver and then meet people from Italy, El Salvador, and just get immersed in that culture without ever having to travel the world. I think there's no better way than meeting a couple of people who would be locals there in Vancouver and where I'm from. So
yeah, being with these guys kind of reminds me of being all under one roof, and just having that warm and full house. To have someone there to talk to people about it, it's just made our idea, and it's made it so much stronger than what it was, and it's made it so much better. I can say that, but just made it much better than what it originally was.
So here we are in the space, Georgia Street, Georgia and Main, Chinatown. What brought you to this particular location?
Obviously, we were always looking at Chinatown, like getting a space that is, fitting like a 100-year-old building that's got so much history, and then you live in an area that has so much history, like Chinatown. Like just walking down the street here, our neighbors are exceptional. From Uncle Peter next door, who sells books in Mandarin, to all the other places that we got to know over the last 3 months. And we've been very blessed to be in Chinatown because we find top quality ingredients that we didn't really know that were even available in Vancouver.
We thought we had to go far to Burnaby, where the little Italian community is, but there's ingredients here that they just have here, that it's just because it's Chinatown. Like all the beautiful vegetables they sell here that are pretty much farm to table in a sense. They're beautiful, and as well with all the little markets on the other side where we get our meats and so on. Just keeping everything that has been here that we found that we can use towards our style of cuisine.
Yeah, I think on the menu it's going to be very clear that we source everything that we can from Chinatown. So we want to keep as much as possible the economy growing in the community, even on the block if it's possible. So I feel like we want to incorporate the Italian culture with also the the reality of Chinese culture in Chinatown.
That brings up an interesting question. I mean, you're all, I mean, a lot of people are transplanted into Vancouver, but Saskatchewan is the closest we get, right? El Salvador and Italy, right? So, as three guys coming from somewhere else, what were your first takes on the city, and what do you think Fiorino is going to bring to the dining scene that's already here?
Yeah, I think for me, it's been about the food for me. Like it's an amazing city, and that's what I've always heard is this place is full of places to eat and go and try different things. And that's what we're trying to give with Fiorino is that little slice of Florence and Tuscany and Italy, and just give it to the people. Maybe they've had Italian, maybe they've had the pizza, pasta, but there's a broad range of other foods that I don't think they've had. So for me, it's the food and that, and I know it's tough to meet people here, and something I want this place to strive to be is a place for community and also for great food. So that's what we're aiming to do.
Absolutely, I second that. That's exactly what Fiorino is about. It's about having different backgrounds and being able to get to know each other across the dining room table. Vancouver is so different from Florence because Vancouver has so much more diversity than Florence does. But at the same time, Vancouver could learn a thing or two from Florence in the sense of like being able to put aside differences and actually focusing on things that we have in common and things we all have in common, one thing, and that's food.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we've kind of designed a central communal table in the middle of the restaurant that will have up to 18 seats of people all dining together, which right now sounds like the worst idea that any restaurateur has ever come up with. But I feel like one day that table will be full of friends and family, and we will be able to enjoy it as we should. I want to make sure that the place represents everything that I am so proud of. That is, my hometown, the food of my hometown, and then the people from my hometown, which is, I think these two represent very, very well Florentines because they've got big hearts, big smiles, and big bellies. So they like to eat. They like to shoot the shit, have fun. I think it's just like we're getting there. That's what I keep saying. We're getting there, but sooner or later that's going to be like we got there.
Yeah,
we got there.